Good morning, everyone. Well, Kumbh is the most talked about word that I know over the last 3 weeks. So I thought I'll start by invoking Kumbh. Almost the entire population of America comes to a fraction of Prayagraj town from all over India and the world. And one thing that will be common across everybody who comes to Kumbh is their devotion, is their correlation, acceptance of spirituality. That will be one thing common. And today, I think there is a correlation between people who have gathered here and the Kumbh. Everybody who has come to this conference cares for social impact. Or else it is almost impossible for people to make 2-day trip, come to Hyderabad, drive to Nizamabad, stay overnight, come morning for this conference, stay for the entire day and then go back. So what binds us together also is the sense of purpose towards social impact and change. So this is the Kumbh for development for all of us. Then, it is one thing to think of social impact. A lot of people talk about change and bringing change in society, and then it's quite another to do something about it. I think all of you, when you decided to come to Nizamabad, have already become a fraction of the population who have moved from just thinking, speaking, to rather doing. So I'm working with a very small subset of population who's already quite enthused and action-oriented towards bringing about social impact. And I think that's phenomenal. In fact, just the other day, yesterday in fact, I met this entrepreneur. His name is Jagdish. Jagdish is from Bangalore. I met him at Rukmini Chambers, our current Kakatiya Sandbox office. And he was there on the side sitting. And I asked him, Ki Jagdish, and he looked somebody who has not drank water for a lot of time. He looked hungry as well. I said, where do you come from? He said, I'm come from Bangalore. And he took a train to Anantapur. From Anantapur, he came to Nizamabad. He has taken a hotel probably 15 kilometers far from this conference venue. And he has been moving around in the town on an auto just to attend this conference, just to attend Sangat, just to go to K-Hub. And I am so excited to actually witness many more Jagdish here. And he's a founder of a company that creates technology for PGs called PG5. So I'm so excited there will be so many more Jagdish in this crowd that I will discover, and I encourage all of you also to discover. Conferences, and I spoke about it in the previous year conference as well. There are issues on the ground that impacts masses. But they always get discussed in small groups in urban centers among certain people. So conferences have moved to big cities. It is almost as if conferences are designed for the convenience of speakers and moderators and not for the actual community for which they have gathered together to solve the problem. And one thing that I'm so proud about Development Dialogue is two things. One, when we do a conference, we make sure that everybody we work for is right here in this crowd. So we'll turn around, you'll see these blue t-shirts. All of them are the students that we work with. Their parents are also here. The teachers are also here. The recruiters are here who recruit these students and put them to jobs. I see Anji right here. The local educational ecosystem that is here, that is also prevalent here. That's very unique about it. When you talk about entrepreneurship, the wannabe entrepreneurs, the current entrepreneurs, the investors, all of them gathered here. So it's like co-creating a solution or dialogue with people who you work with. And then also to do it right in the heart of Bharat. That's also extremely important. You don't take the issues away from them and do it in some remote corner that's convenient to you. You do it in the place where it matters to them, where it is convenient for them to come and actually participate in the dialogue. Had this conference happened in Hyderabad or Bangalore, it would have been impossible to take so many students and their parents to Hyderabad. And they would never just know, are their issues being even represented right? Is it being aptly put forward? And do they have voice on the table? At best, we could have taken one of them and put them in the conversation, at best. That is all we could have done. So that's something that I'm really proud about. In this conference, while some dialogue will happen here, a lot will happen on the parallel venue that is towards your right. You will have a entire session just on skilling. You will have an entire session on student entrepreneurship. There will be a session where alumni of our program actually have gathered upstairs to talk about what they have gained from this program and by working through this skilling program and eventually creating impact for themselves and their family. There's also a new thing that we have inculcated this time in development dialogue. Is called focus forums, where the idea is to put 60-70 strangers together and encourage them to dialogue on a particular topic or solve a particular problem. And the idea is not that they will be able to solve the problem in 60 minutes, but imagine putting great minds together for 30 minutes around a problem, the kind of bond that will create. And we encourage that those bonds will go outside of this conference and create great value in their own lives and for the sector, of course. This time's theme, and Harish talked about it, unlocking scale in Bharat. I believe that, Bharat is like that, scaling into Bharat is like that unpaved road. Nobody has any idea how to really scale in Bharat. Government is trying one way, corporates are trying another way, NGOs are trying another way, startups are trying to approach the same market in another way. Everybody's trying their own way. But imagine if all of them were to come together and do something together and make that highway into the Bharat. I think the odds of success will be much higher. Over the just last 12 months, we have partnered with many organizations like Karya, Coursera. We have partnered with organizations like Care India for many of the programs. And all we did is we made our social infrastructure, our social highway into the community available to the partners. And what we realized that if we use our highway, the cost to create the same amount of impact that if one were to do without this connection, network into the society, would be a lot higher. So they're able to deliver a lot more just because they're leveraging the highways that we have created into the communities. And I think that's the essence that I think we need to capture in this conference, where how can we partner together so that we are leveraging each other's strengths and then making inroads into the community. Despite that, it will be very difficult. I think one analogy I could find is that scaling Mount Everest. If you scale Mount Everest, if you scale it together in batches, your odds of success are going to be higher and odds of fatalities are going to be lower. And I think scaling in Bharat will also be like scaling Mount Everest. So let's do it together. Let's scale in Bharat through partnerships and through togetherness. Thank you.